Before we get into our Bears mailbag, some of you may or may not know Chicago Bears Now is part of the Chat Sports Network here on YouTube, and our main Chat Sports channel closing in on 250,000 subscribers. This channel would not be possible with our main channel, so go check it out. Daily NFL videos. We also have NBA coverage over there as well. We do mailbags. We do live shows a couple of days a week, Mondays and Wednesdays. Help us reach 250K. That's an exclusive club on YouTube. The link is down below. It'll be in the description also, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Let's kick this mailbag off with a super chat from Julian. You think Ladarius Mack makes the roster? I really don't. I think decent college player, obviously the younger brother of Khalil Mack. I think he's a practice squad type of guy. You keep him around to keep Khalil happy. Maybe he develops long term. He's just the problem. He's kind of a tweener, not the best athlete. Pull him for the kid, but it's going to be tough with the amount of bodies they have. Kevin Ruiz, can't wait to see Justin Fields tear it up. It's time to be great people. Hashtag Harrison Beard. Beard will be back. Don't worry. We're coming back. Appreciate that. Kevin also sent another $5 with that same question, so appreciate the support, Kevin. If you guys super chat, we'll always answer your questions. Hannah Malici, my wife, who spent the $100 super chat to have him shave his beard. I'm upset. My wife is a big fan of the beard. She probably doesn't love the stash right now. I'm sorry, babe, if you're still watching. It's listen, we're a man of the people here at Chicago Bears Now. If the folks send in big supers, we just got to do what we promise, and that's what I promise. So don't worry, it'll grow back, as you know. JJ the Best, how you doing today, Harrison? I'm great, man. I'm a little lighter up here, I'm missing the beard a little bit, but it'll come back. I'm having a great time. I love Tuesdays. We go live every Tuesday here on Bears Now, youtube.com/Bears Now. It's a whole lot of fun. Having a great day. Michael Kelly, cut Marquise Goodwin and make more room for Daz Newsome. You can keep both. I've got them keeping both. Now, you could say, well, they basically do the same thing. Maybe that's true. I just think the Bears made it clear that they're valuing speed right now. So this was my projected wide receiver depth chart on our way too early roster projection. It's very possible they sub out Goodwin and Riley Ridley or Javon Wims makes the team, or maybe Anthony Miller gets traded or cut and one of those guys makes it. But all I can say is that the tea leaves tell me they want more speed on this offense. So that's what I took that into account when I put together my roster projection. From Sadie Chuggs, is there a free agent out there worth signing? I would like to add a cornerback, I think, and we did free agent targets last week, and you can check that out on the channel as well. If you sub, just go to the videos tab. I'd like to get a corner on this team. I worry about Desmond Trufant. If he's hurt or if he's just not the same guy, you've got a hole at your second outside corner spot. Now, maybe a guy like Artie Burns or a guy like, Kendall Vildor develops and can be that guy. He got some reps last year, but didn't play that well last year when he did get to play. So I'd love a guy like Richard Sherman. Don't know if he'd come to Chicago, but I think you could use someone at the cornerback position. How about you guys? What do you think? Name a player the Bears should sign in free agency. If you watch live, I told you guys I think that this Bears roster is mostly set. Maybe they make a move or two, but name a player that's still unsigned that you would like to add. Alan Mack, will there be practice squad numbers like last year? I haven't seen anything official. Before last year, it had increased from 10 to 12. We'll see. I think it'll be at least 12. I would keep it at 16 because I think it just makes it easier, and that's more jobs in the NFL, so that's a good thing. Tiger, what are the chances for Bears winning the Super Bowl? And 2021, not great, right? Like, rookie quarterbacks don't win Super Bowls, so even if Fields comes in, lights it up, it's very difficult. I won't completely rule it out. I think 2022 is the year to watch out for. Fields gets a lot of reps this year, shows a lot of promise, gets a full offseason as the starter. I think in 2022, you can start thinking deep playoff runs. I think that's very much a possibility. Chase Fryman, are you happy Pagano is gone? Do you think the Bears can go over 500? Yes and yes. Now, Chuck Pagano is a good coach, did a lot of good things in this league, but I don't want to say he's a boomer, Tom Downey style, but he kind of got caught in his own ways. He didn't evolve that much. He didn't do a lot of disguises. So, yeah, I think the young blood will be good with Sean Desai. And, I think even if Dalton's your starter, you could win 9 games. That's very doable. Now, the schedule's difficult, but I think it's possible. This roster's in pretty good shape. White Phoenix, who could be the biggest surprise to make the Week 1 roster? Well, I've got Charles Snowden, the undrafted free agent out of Virginia. I think C.J. Marable, I've watched some of his highlights, his clips out of Coastal Carolina, the running back. I am intrigued by him. The problem is the running back room is very crowded. I think those are a couple of names to keep an eye on. After that, it's a little too early for me to say. If you've subscribed, if you've been here for a while now, type me in the comments if you're a Bears Now subscriber. And if you haven't, just hit that big red button. The time is now. We are closing in on 30,000 subscribers quickly. Don't miss the train because it's leaving the station. Type me if you have subscribed to the channel. And if you haven't, just hit that big red button because we do videos every single day. Leon Lucas, what position should the Bears target in next year's draft? Cornerback, linebacker, O-line. I mean, obviously, some of it depends on how the year plays out, right? You don't know what your major needs are until you get to the end of that season. I do think linebacker could be an option. Danny Trevathan showed his age at times last year. You could use someone next to Roquan. Cornerback, definitely a possibility. Trufant's on a one-year deal. O-line, maybe not. Let's see how Teven Jenkins plays. Let's see how Mustipher plays if he's the full-time center. Then Larry Borum could be your long-term answer at right tackle. So we'll have to see on that front. JJ DeBest, what are your thoughts on Teven Jenkins at left tackle starting? Cautiously optimistic. I think the safer play would have been keeping him at right tackle and then getting another left tackle, but not a lot of left tackles back on the market, and clearly the Bears have done their homework and think he can play there. Played some there in college. Ike will be fine. Maybe he has a bit more of a learning curve in his rookie season. Jessup, when do you think Newsome will be wide receiver 3? I'm excited for him. Potentially Week 1. I mean, we saw it with Darnell Mooney last year. It didn't take him long to be a starter as a 5th-round pick, and he was great. Anthony Miller, what happens with him? Is he on this roster? Does he play well? If he does make the roster, does he fall down the totem pole? All could happen. He could be gone. He could also play well. I mean, we've seen Anthony Miller play well at times. He's just been very inconsistent. Definitely think Newsome makes the team. Excited to see him play for sure. Who's your favorite Bears player, current or past? Doesn't matter. Shout him out in the comments and let us know who your favorite Chicago Bears player is of all time. Maybe he's currently on the roster. Maybe he's, from the 1985 Bears. Let us know. Go ahead and shout him out. A couple more questions here. Luke Moniz, how bright is the future for the Bears? Look, you never know, right? Like, obviously, potentially incredibly bright. If Fields is the real deal, you can win right away. Now, maybe he busts. I hope not. But I'm cautiously optimistic that this team could be a contender for a while. I think Justin Fields has everything that it takes to be a franchise quarterback. You got to be patient, and obviously, it has to work. We'll see what happens. Last one here, Toos the name. How much do you think it'll cost us to pay Roquan, like the amount in years? So you picked up the 5th-year option, so you don't have to sign him necessarily before next season. You can play it out on the 5th year in 2022. It's off-ball linebacker, so if I'm Chicago, I'm strict with my price, and I don't go above it. Maybe it's like 5 years, $60 million, 12 per. Maybe it's like 570, 14 per. I can't pay. Like the C.J. Mosley thing freaks me out. The Jets signed him to 5 years, 85, and he's barely played. And at a position that's not super valuable. So we'll see. I wouldn't pay him more than $15 million a year, and that's not because he's not a beast. It's because it's the position of off-ball linebacker. Give me a follow on Twitter. If we missed your question, we apologize. We get a ton of them on every live show, but my DMs are open at HGramNFL. So give me a follow, send your questions away, and I will respond to those as soon as I can. Again, that's at HGramNFL on Twitter.